So my name is Mark Walsh from Embodied Yoga Principles. One of the key things we do in Embodied Yoga is we show a posture. It could be a classic posture like warrior posture or forwards bend, or one of our own postures, and then we see how people do it differently, how they deviate from the basic model that's shown. And what this does is it exposes different patterns, which is really interesting because people go, oh wow, look at that, there's a pattern. And it's always a guess, right? Because this could just be how they are today. Maybe they woke up in a certain mood. Could be, you know, the season. There's many layers to this, but often after a few classes, you'll see consistent patterns and you go, oh, interesting. This is a way of learning about myself. Yeah. Three people here volunteered today. We're in Moscow today, and they've just learned yes posture and no posture. So we're going to see how they do it differently. Some of the different postures. You'll see the variations. So actually, let's do self-care posture first. So do you remember self-care posture? We started this one. Yeah. Okay. So feet together. Great. And what you'll notice is, I literally just taught them this, and I haven't given them any feedback, I just showed them, is they have a very different look about them when they're doing it. So this is the kind of subtle level. So this is like, woo, this is like, yes, this is fine. And how does it feel for you? Strong. Okay. So you see very different flavor to how they're doing it. Yeah. And that's something we can point out. We can ask them to be aware of the sort of flavor of it. And it's completely different, actually. And I could actually start showing variations, like how would it be if you tilted your head to the side and softened it slightly? Yeah? It's different, huh? It feels very different. Well, how would it be for you if you did it her way and you'd keep your head straight? Yeah? It's different. It's this different flavor of self-care that we can explore through that. And then we start to see the habits by this contrast, yeah? The contrast shows some of the habits. Another one would be if we contrasted taking space. So feet wider than the mat, arms out. Yeah. Arms up. If you could do it this way around, just because that way we can compare easier. Yeah, great. Yeah. And again, you'll notice some differences, like she's got a slight back bend, which is a bit more like fuck yeah posture, okay? You're doing it quite classically, and she's doing it more like here, which is more of an emphasis on the sort of down rather than the up, if you notice the difference in the hands. So like this to me looks a lot more sort of joyful, and this looks a lot more like organized or serious, and not a problem either way, not a criticism. And just one of these people I know quite well, and just seeing their personalities, you'll start to see that. And you'll start to see pieces of other postures, like some people will do it slightly like containing posture, or like fuck yeah posture, or like, you know, warrior posture. You'll see pieces of other postures. If we contrast that with this one, so now feet together, so they're learning through the contrast, they're learning through which is most familiar, which is most comfortable. Does this one feel more or less familiar than the last one? Elbows in, head down, eyes closed. And this may feel more familiar, or it might feel less familiar. Who feels more familiar in this one? Anyone? Feels less familiar. Less familiar for you, Kate? Yeah, I can kind of see that. Kate seems like quite outgoing kind of personality, quite extrovert. So for her, this one might be a bit of a challenge. And you actually saw her elbows were sort of up at the beginning, which is quite common for extroverts. They're still trying to do this, yeah? So kind of containing and noticing how that is. How does this feel for you, Ira? Yeah, she was right in it. She was really in it. Like, Kate wasn't really in it. Kate was like, yes, I'm doing it, but secretly, you know. And Ira was like deep in herself. Like, I'm guessing for her, this is a more familiar kind of energy, a more familiar kind of way of being, yeah? Okay, great. So now let's do, thank you both, thank you all. We're going to do yes and no posture, and as you did before, and we'll see some of the variations you do. So this was our basic yes posture that I showed you, yeah? So what's interesting is they're all intelligent people, and their eyes all work, okay? But as you, yeah, please. What you'll notice is they're doing the posture in different ways. So I'm doing it one way, and they're all trying their best to observe and to do it my way. But what you'll see is differences. Yeah, some of the differences, please try. Some of the differences you'll see, for example, is they'll be slightly more forwards or slightly more back. Another thing we can say is like, how do you want to do it wrong? So normally in yoga, it's like, do it right, you know, exactly right. We can actually exaggerate. So how do you kind of want to move now? Try. So you don't like being on the back foot, do you, Kate? You like being more forward weighted, right? What do you want to do in this one? Okay, feels too heavy. Yeah? So she might not. Okay, so she's noticing that urge to move forward, which again might be a personality pattern, might just be today, might be a leg injury. We've got to be a bit careful with judging these things. And what about you? It's what?
Something like this.
Okay, so she quite likes back. It might be a different kind of personality, right? Different than you like more forwards, don't you? Another thing we might see with the hands is some people start to come up, which is more like giving posture. None of them have this pattern today. Yeah, so they come from here to here. Yeah, another thing you'll see is like this in, or you'll start to see this, which is like taking space again. It's not really like yes. Okay, so there's a lot more patterns we see, and some of them are quite subtle, like the face isn't saying yes. The eyes or the jaw is not soft, yeah? It's not yes, it's yeah? Or the spine will start going into fuck yeah, okay? Or taking space, or any of the other postures or any other variations. So, now no posture. So I've just taught them no posture. So no posture, front leg weight, back leg straight, hand in the front, fist by here, okay? Okay, so this is really classic. What you'll see with no posture, a little bit wider, what you'll see is they're all doing it differently. So if you come to the front Sergei, you'll see they not only are physically doing it differently, when they're actually quite similar sizes, not so different, no injuries, but they feel different as well, right? Like this one is much more kind of strong and severe, and I know that this person doesn't take bullshit, okay? And you'll also see that her fist is quite far forward. Yeah, my wife does that too. She's like, I will fucking hit you. It's very Slavic, by the way. And this arm is straight. So a straight arm is a bit like pushing away. Yeah. The opposite of this is if she were to do really passive. So try coming really in. You're not going to like it. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, so exactly. So try coming this way. So she can't even do it. It's like really more. Some people will be like passive. You're not going to find that with Russian women very often, if I can talk about a cultural trend. Other people tend to push away. It's not so easy. Great. So she's contrasting, she's noticing. Physically, it's not a problem. She is, however, quite open. She just corrected, don't correct. She is, however, was quite open. So another pattern you'll see, if we come here, will be to be a bit open. She's only slightly open. If you look at the middle of her chest where it says house, that's the middle of her chest, and the hand's quite apart from that. So take it even more open. Okay, that is how a lot of people would do it if they're very like yes, open, amiable, agreeable kind of people. How does that feel? Better, yeah, so that's more her personality. Now, she was good enough at noticing to correct herself, but when we do it more wrong, she actually feels better, yeah? You'll see with the hand, some people's hand is like open. You see open-handed. Some people is more closed. Here you see the fist is almost like dropped. So it's not so aggressive. You see that? It's not here how I did it. So try it my way. How does that feel? Okay, yeah. And then there's this as the alternative. So sometimes it's literally like, yeah. I've seen people that just literally forgotten that hand, completely forgotten it because it feels too aggressive somehow. Yeah. Okay. And you'll notice she's slightly back weighted as well. So I said 60% of the weight on the front leg. It's not 60%, nowhere near. It's more like 40, maybe 50. Yeah. And again, she's revealing her pattern. So it's not that she's wrong, it's just that she's revealing it. Another thing you'll see is like people turning away, like, oh, I don't really want to, it's non-confrontational. Let's have a look at Kate. What's Kate doing? Okay, so she's quite open. You'll see that. She's also open in the fingers, and she's way open here. I mean, like, even though I just described it, she's literally just done it. And in her face, you'll see it as well. But she's also got the little Slavic woman fist going on, okay? Sometimes you'll see this with open people. They're like, I can't really say no, but I will fucking kill you if you cross my boundaries. So that this has to be stronger sometimes because this is a bit too open. Does that make sense? Any light bulbs in terms of your life? Yeah. The other thing you'll notice is, do you see how she came towards me? That was very amenable. Even that tells me a lot. If you push, some people will push away. See that? She's a little bit pushing away. I'll try with you. Some people, look, she just gave in. So I didn't tell them this. She pushed away. She was a bit more agreeable. So you've got an interesting pattern of open yet aggressive. Yours is much more like open and a bit more amenable, soft, agreeable. Yeah. Let's try this. And this is just solid. This is great. 3 really nice examples. Couldn't have picked it better. Now, I know this person, she tends to be like fairly like solid, strong, organized, and it's not exactly aggressive, but there's not a lot of flexibility in there. Try being really flexible. How's that?
Water.
Watery, yeah? And that's generally not her go-to place. So even something as simple as this, we're seeing the patterns, yeah? Thank you very much for exposing yourself and your personalities to the world on YouTube. Much appreciated. So if you like that, I invite you to subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the little bell button so you get the videos rather than just subscribe. Obviously, likes and comments are very useful for us. It's always nice to hear what people think, to ask questions. I will respond to them if you do. So ask questions, share your own experiences, and it just means that more people see the videos, which is nice for us. It also means you're more likely to see it yourself in the future. So if you've liked it, please like it.